here we are with the installing of the radio electronics step of the RC10 Classic kit build, brought to you by RC Racing TV and modelsport.co.uk. This particular step is sponsored by Spire Model Distribution. Thank you very much, Jamie from SMD. s-m-d.co.uk for providing us with this amazing, really cool CR4T transmitter from Absima. Not a brand name that you might be familiar with, but one I'm sure you've seen on the shirts of lots of, well, foreign racers, I guess, if you're in the States. Anyway, this is a really nice 4-channel 2.4 gigahertz radio system. It's left and right hand compatible. You can see this section just bolts off and bolts right in there. It's got a massive touch screen. Now, just as an example, I've got my own smartphone here. It's a Samsung Galaxy 3, I think. I'm not too into my smartphones at the moment, but you see it's just a little bit smaller. I would say it's probably about iPhone size. If you're obviously, I'm sure most people are familiar with those. The screen is about iPhone size. There are specs that will be in a link that we'll put down below in the video description, I'm sure, for this step. Anyway, what we've got here is a 4-channel 2.4 gigahertz radio transmitter. Just picking it up, there's no batteries in it at the moment. It does feel slightly top heavy. I'm sure it'll be balanced out with these 4 AA batteries that are included. They're rechargeable as well, which is really cool. The steering wheel feels really nice, kind of like a neoprene sort of mouse mat sort of material. It's not just open cell foam that's might feel uncomfortable after a bit. It feels a bit gooey, I suppose, and it does look like there's adjustable tension for it. There's various little sub trims, 3 in fact there. There's a button at the bottom, SW3, switch 3, switch 1 here for your middle finger, and a pinky switch even for your pinky. There's also the switch 1 on the other side, and also these little trims. I think the TR4, TR5, I think those are for the 3rd channel, 3rd and 4th channel, I should say. This little bit here, the rubber grip, feels nice and secure, sort of like a performance gaming mouse, if you're familiar with that, or maybe a steering wheel cover or something like that. It feels nice and grippy though. It's perfect size for my hand, but if you have larger hands, the set does come with a extra large thing, grip that you can add on. There's also a micro USB connector to upgrade the firmware. There's a CD, like a little micro CD manual. And really cool thing for this is that it comes with, of course, there's the receiver, the 4-channel receiver, but it comes with lots of telemetry bits that you can add. Now, everyone's familiar with the size of a AA battery, so I think I'll compare the size of these things to the AA battery, which you can see here. So obviously, get the brand name in there. This is a temperature sensor, which is really cool. I don't know if you can see it's just about half the length, not even half the length of a AA battery. So you get all these little telemetry things that plug in. You have there's one side that will plug in. There's an in plug and an out plug. So what you do is plug this in here. Well, I think it goes that way, and then you plug this into the out. You plug this into the in plug of the receiver, which is really cool. So you can monitor your engine temperature very easily. And this is just something that, if you're a computer geek, you may have seen these on computer fans. These little temperature probes. So that's quite cool. You got a temperature sensor. You've got a speed sensor, an optical speed sensor, and then what I'm guessing is that on something like an electric car, maybe on a wheel or on a pinion rotor or a spur gear or something like that, maybe you put a black mark. I'm not sure, this is just guessing. You put some sort of a mark or something on something that rotates, and you tell the computer, in this case the radio, the diameter of the rotating piece at the mark, and it'll figure out, do all the math for you and tell you how fast you're going, which is quite cool. And then you have a voltage telemetry, so you can find out, I believe it talks back, the receiver talks back to the radio, I think, and tells you when your battery's running low, which is really cool. So that's great for endurance racers, nitro racers, large scale racers, as well as the temperature telemetry as well. And well, the speed thing's always cool. So anyway, getting on to the sort of mini review here. We've got 4 AA batteries that are included. These are rechargeables, and I've never turned this on before, so we'll see how this little review goes. What I'm going to do is just slide these in here. So we'll see how the review goes. I'm sure it'll be great. I've heard lots of good things about this radio. So that's the first time I put in the batteries. I'm going to peel off the protective film. So that'll hopefully, I don't know, prove that I've never turned it on before. So, and then we'll just turn this sucker on. Oh, that's nice. Automatic frequency hopping radio system. So there we are. We've got our receiver batteries. We've got our transmitter. Okay, we've got little. You can't really see that, can you? That a little bit better, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to hold it here. And once we put our finger on the trigger, you can see that coming through better there, yeah. Okay, so you can see all the little dials moving here, left, right. Okay, so let's see, there's a little stylus that okay, so it's not you can't tap it with your finger pad. You have to actually use your fingernail, but you get a little stylus here, which is kind of cool. Well, I'll just use that for now. Let's see. Top tray of the screen constantly displays the main status of the whole system, displays the signal strength. There we are. Displays the number and name of the currently selected model. I believe there's 20 models that you can store in this sucker, which is really cool. Transmitter displays the status of the remote battery. Receiver battery. Yeah, so you do get an alarm telling you what your receiver, if your receiver voltage is too low, and that must be what this is here, RX. You can see there's a little tiny receiver there, and it's not getting a signal back because I haven't bound anything yet. What I'm trying to do here is, the cool thing about these new radios is that on this particular model is the entire manual is in the radio itself, so that PDF, there's no print manual that's included at all. Everything's on the radio. That's how confident they are that everything will be fine. So let's see here, and hopefully it goes well. Right. Okay, it's basically just telling you how to navigate. It's pretty handy. Select model. Okay, so fortunately there's no scroll bar, so you don't know where exactly you're at, but sound, you've got sound alarms, dead zone. Cool. Okay, so we'll go into settings, and let's see if we can get some instructions on how to bind the radio. System, RX setup, that sounds like it. Bind with a receiver. Yes, this will enter bind receiver mode. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, press the back button to exit. It's not telling me too much though. No, I didn't want to do that. Okay, let me so it's not completely intuitive, but let's see, the bind button, or the bind section is here, and I'll turn this on. Okay, well, that's something is honked. Oh, and I have a little flashing light, as you can see. Bind with a receiver. Yes. Okay, things are moving. Lights are flashing. Well, I'm definitely getting some sort of signal. Ah, I think it's bound because I see the radio here. So let me turn this off. I think what the problem might be is that, and there's no indication on here because these are Futaba style plugs that I've got. I may have plugged them in backwards, which is a newbie mistake, but hey, I couldn't remember if it's black to the inside or to the outside. So I'll try this again. That sounds better. There we are. Of course, I need to set up the servo centering. It's obviously not good. So we've got throttle. You can see the light on the speedo here. Of course, that's just reflecting on the. So there we are. Yeah. So simple mistake, and that was completely my fault. So that's really cool. Right. Okay. So there's all sorts of functions you can do with this. It's pretty cool. We've got throttle idle up, which is great for if you're a nitro racer. You can change this up and down as much as you need. Set it back to 0. Engine cut. Not sure exactly how that works, but I'm sure the nitro or gas guys are like that. Boat mode, brake mixing. Again, if you're large scale. Mixes for all sorts of things. Display servos. Ah. Wow. You getting that? That's pretty cool. Key function. So this tells you all the different buttons. Pretty handy. Race timer, which just sounds pretty what you might expect. Steering speed, steering mix, steering expo, endpoints, which is pretty good, especially for a model like this. Throttle reverse, let's see, so throttle's okay. Steering. Throttle middle, throttle speed, ABS, which is really cool. I've never gotten it to work though on radio, but I haven't done nitro in ages. Throttle expo, throttle curve, so quite cool, I must say. System, backlight, which, okay, so that's pretty good. So you can do auto power off. I believe if you don't touch it for 5 minutes, it will it'll sound an alarm and then shuts off again after 5 minutes, I think. That's what I remember. Firmware update. Oops. And let's see, about. So this tells you the version number that you're working with. Pretty handy. Okay, and so this is telling you your voltage of your battery, your transmitter voltage, which is, let's see, anyway, so I'll figure it out. So, yeah, pretty cool, I must say. So, anyway, this is just obviously just a 2-channel car, don't need anything special on it. But there you go. There you go. Pretty handy. I like it. So, yeah, we'll be doing a complete test run of this, of course, when we're up and running. But anyway, that's the electronics installed. Of course, we'll run through quickly the rest of the electronics. So, for the steering, we've got a Sabox SG0351, which is a fairly standard servo. It's nothing massively special, but you know, back in the day, it'd probably be a fairly quick one. For the radio system, of course, once again, is the Absima CR4T from Spire Model Distribution. Thank you again, Jamie. From HPI, we've got a plasma 4000 milliamp LiPo battery. and it comes with the Dean's plug, and the Dean's plug goes into the flux. So what is it? Flux reload, sorry, V2. And then we've got a flux shot, which is, let me just find the spec on it, I believe it's a 4300 kilovolt, of course 540 size motor, 9-turn equivalent, so yeah. Oh, and well, before I forget, that was step I believe, installing all the electronics. Step J was installing the nose brace, and I think that was about it. Anyways, a very quick step, literally just a few screws. Oh, and the antenna mount. So I'm going to go with a retro antenna. If I can grab it here, I'm going to go with something nice and long. Look at that sucker. That's the size of antenna tube that we used to have to deal with, instead of these short, convenient, cool-looking ones. So anyway, yeah. So that's it for steps or bags I and J, or J and I. Forgetting my alphabet now. I'm just that excited. We got fans running, we've got motor going, we've got all sorts of stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. So next step is installing the tires and wheels. Not simply gluing things, we're actually screwing things together. So we'll be doing that really, really soon. Alright, so thanks for watching, and check back on rcracingtv.net for more of the RC10 Classic, brought to you by modelsport.co.uk and now Spire Model Distribution. Thank you very much.